Is this Trump's way of announcing his VP pick? What's going on, guys? I hope you're all doing well. You guys are not going to believe who Donald Trump is campaigning with. Why don't we just jump into this? Check it out, all right? Let's do it.
Time just flies, and that's why it feels like the Republican primary was years ago. Like, it feels like the Republican primary was a really long time ago, where Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley were all kind of at each other's throats. There was the ankle biters, right, with Chris Christie. There were young stars that were born with Vivek, and it was a pretty rowdy time. It was quite interesting. We went to the South Carolina primaries. We went to the Iowa primaries, Iowa caucuses, and we skipped New Hampshire, a little too cold for us. But anyway, it was like a rowdy and wild time, and so very much has changed since then. Time just flies. But going through some of our old clips of the Iowa caucuses, we were reminded of how cringe Ron DeSantis' presidential campaign was. I mean, it just was bad, all right? Now, I think that there's a lot of people that learn and then they run for president, but this was just not Ron DeSantis' time. Ron DeSantis knew that. He dropped out after Iowa and then endorsed Donald Trump. But, before then, Ron DeSantis was saying stuff like this.
Long last names, European names, Steinhauser. There's been some confusion over your last name and the pronunciation, and I'm just wondering, to correct the record, what is it?
Oh, that's ridiculous, these stupid things. Listen, the way to pronounce my last name, Winner.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a Florida resident. I voted for you in 2022. That's not the last name that was on the ballot. Last name was DeSantis. But, well, the hits kept coming. Remember that whole thing about Ron DeSantis' shoes? Remember DeSantis' shoes? How people said he wore lifts? Because you remember Donald Trump calling Ron DeSantis fancy shoes?
The race very soon. He's going to be out very soon. You know, I watched him last night. He's standing up with his shoes, his fancy shoes. And he's going to be out of the race within, a lot of people say before New Hampshire.
And again, I will remind you that two things can be true at once. Ron DeSantis can be the best Republican governor of my lifetime.
Let me just be clear. DeSantis was definitely wearing lifts. And I'm not even blaming him. Like, would I do it? No, I wouldn't personally. But it reminds me of back in the day when Kennedy was debating Nixon, I believe. They were having the first ever live televised debate, and there were makeup artists there for John F. Kennedy because he wanted to look better on camera. Whereas Nixon was like, I'm not doing that. That's girly stuff. I'm not saying one's right and one's wrong. All I'm saying is that these candidates will do whatever it takes to look better in the general public's eye. Even if it means doing something as stupid as wearing lifts in your shoes.
We lived through it. It's great. And Ron DeSantis can, at the same time, be one of the worst presidential candidates of my lifetime running in 2024. Maybe he'll run for president again. I don't know. He was embarrassed on Fox News, which was totally in the tank for DeSantis. Neil Cavuto, one of those people who were like totally in the tank, right? For DeSantis, asked him this blistering question.
I'll tell you this, though, if you look at Iowa, we did it right. I mean, we got the endorsement of the governor. We won the debates, the Miami debate, the Newsom debate, the News Nation debate, the CNN debate. We did televised town halls, got great response.
But
we went to all 99 counties.
You didn't win a single county, right? I mean, in 99 counties, you didn't win a single one. You visited them all, to your credit, but you didn't win a single one.
But I also had, how many people would have been able to handle $50 million in ads? How many people would have been able to handle all the headwinds we did? I mean, we had a very uphill battle. We dug in and we executed and we did run hard. We did do well. And what we got was traditionally what is considered good in a caucus. Nobody's gotten 50% before. This is something where you have a de facto incumbent president.
So Ron DeSantis obviously running in the shadow of Donald Trump. When Donald Trump was campaigning, he was certainly laying that shadow atop Ron DeSantis, and bringing up his name elicited these kind of responses from MAGA.
Notice I haven't even mentioned the name of Ron DeSanctimonious yet because I think he's gone. You didn't say that.
Trump's a character.
He does not wear high heels, okay? He does not wear high heels. All right, maybe. Guy screams out he's got a new pair of high heels. You can't do that. It's not polite.
That's a little trick I noticed that Trump does, that he does all the time. I remember with Chris Christie, there was someone in the audience apparently yelling, "He's a fat pig." And Trump goes, "He is not a fat pig." It is freaking hilarious because Trump's actually saying it without actually formally saying it.
Ron DeSantis did drop out. That was a rally that Donald Trump had in New Hampshire. Ron DeSantis dropped out in New Hampshire, did the right thing, endorsed Donald Trump, said he's going to be the party nominee. I ran against him, and it was a pretty bloody race. Ron DeSantis lost, and then he endorsed Donald Trump. Nikki Haley hasn't endorsed Donald Trump. So, like, that shows you sort of the timber of Ron DeSantis versus at least, like, Nikki Haley. Chris Christie hasn't endorsed Donald Trump. Chris Christie said he hopes that Donald Trump dies. Chris Christie said that, along with Vivek Ramaswamy, that they fight to the death and then they both die. Chris Christie said that on stage. Like,
that guy's a loser.
So, what did Donald Trump say on stage after Ron DeSantis dropped out? He says DeSantis might be the vice president. I mean, maybe they've changed their minds on that now. We have pieces of evidence to prove that they haven't. But Donald Trump says that he's considering Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Kristi Noem, and Tulsi Gabbard as potential VP picks.
Trump is a bigger man than me because there's not a shot in heck I am picking Ron DeSantis. Because DeSantis was only in that position because of Trump. Trump got him in the position he's in, and he wants to go behind his back and try and steal the office from Trump. No, get the heck out of here. I hate people that aren't loyal. I'm loyal to a fault. If someone helps me, I'm going to help them to my dying breath. But the thing is, politicians are counter to that in every way possible. Me personally, if I'm Trump, I'm picking Vivek. Vivek's sharp, he's articulate, and he knows how to get things done. He's a billionaire. He's the man for the job. Especially because if something happens to Trump, Vivek, he's not missing a beat. He would be right there with Trump wanting to drain the swamp.
He said that it's going to be somebody who is of the right and who's establishment. And he even mentions how, like, people who ran against him might get the nod.
Who would be in the running for vice president?
Well, I can't tell you that, really. I mean, I know who it's going to be.
Give us a hint.
We'll do another show sometime.
Well, what about any of the people who you run against? Would you be open to mending fences with any of them?
I will. I've already started to like Christie better.
This is the date when Chris Christie dropped out. Okay. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The breaking news. DeSantis expected to campaign for Trump after pair meet in Miami. So it seems like whatever wounds there were have been healed now. We'll see. Play on word there, right? Got it? Healed. LOL. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis agreed to campaign on behalf of Donald Trump after the former rivals met Sunday morning. Ex-president looks to retake the White House. Two prominent Republicans met in Miami in an attempt to patch up their strained relationship. Insiders told the Post that DeSantis is expected to raise money for the presumptive GOP nominee, on top of campaigning for him after his own Oval Office ambitions came up short. Nikki Haley has not endorsed Trump. But in February, a phone call to supporters, DeSantis said that some Trump campaign staffers had an axe to grind against him while claiming the criminal indictments against the former president helped curry sympathy with primary voters. He also asserted that Trump would focus on identity politics when picking a running mate, so it wouldn't be DeSantis. But I guess who knows, right? Like, who knows? Donald Trump has openly floated Ron DeSantis as a running mate here.
Who they think would be a good choice, and various names came up. One of them was, of course, Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah. He's made a big splash. Ron DeSantis, who's making an appearance today in South Carolina, we just found out. Obviously, Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, and a big presence here for Tulsi Gabbard. Very interesting.
I like Tulsi. I like her.
And Kristi Noem as well, I should say. Right. Are they all on your short list? And when can we expect that you will announce your choice?
The one thing that always surprises me is that the VP choice has absolutely no impact.
So Donald Trump then goes on to say, to effectively do exactly what he should do, which is downplay the VP choice, because everyone's going to be hounding him over what his VP choice is. And according to our sources inside the Trump campaign, he has not decided yet. So Trump hasn't decided. Now, I am not necessarily pushing for this ticket. I got to be honest with you. I'm not. I like Ron DeSantis right where he is. I like Ron DeSantis as the governor of Florida.
Don't get me wrong. I love DeSantis down in Florida. When he was down there fighting back against COVID, fighting back against Disney, doing all that stuff, I was loving every minute of it. I'm like, this guy's great. He's down in Florida. But the second he backstabbed Trump, I said to myself, I'm never going to vote for this man in a presidential election ever, as long as I live. Because I just hate politicians like that. I want someone who's true to their word, someone loyal, and someone who's going to stand up for the American people. And of all the candidates, I feel like DeSantis could be bought. I don't think Vivek could be bought. I don't think Tulsi can be bought. But something about DeSantis just rubs me the wrong way ever since he announced he was running for president. What do you guys think down below? Am I being too harsh on DeSantis? Should I let it go? And yeah, let me know who you would pick as the VP for Donald Trump. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash a like, comment, subscribe. And I wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.